I should have known something was up because the next day Mom made a big breakfast with bacon and waffles and fruit salad. Usually we just have cereal, unless it's Christmas or someone's birthday. Dad waited until Kenny had staggered down the stairs to join the rest of us. Kenny's not much of a morning person. He slumped at the table, blinking slowly. His hair looked like a black porcupine was attacking his head. "So," said Dad, rubbing his hands together, "I have a special announcement to make. I am leaving for China next week." My stomach dropped. Even though Dad had been to China many times, every trip made me nervous. China was so far away, it wasn't like he was flying to New York or Boston or even Chicago or Los Angeles. If something happened in China, how could we ever find him? "Do you have to?" I asked, knowing the answer. "Yes, Lucy, I have to go for work, but there's also something else." Dad paused, enjoying the drama for a moment. "I just confirmed everything yesterday. I'll be bringing someone back with me. Po-Po's sister, Yi Po." He said it like a game show host announcing a prize. "Say that again?" said Kenny. The room seemed to tilt. "What are you talking about? Po-Po doesn't have a sister," I said. Po-Po, my mom's mom, had taken care of me every day after school until she died 2 years ago. We talked about everything. She had never mentioned a sister. "It's complicated," Mom said. "I didn't know about this sister until Mom told me, right before she died. They never saw each other after they were little girls. The Chinese part of my life just doesn't make sense sometimes. Like there are a bunch of women I call Aiyi, which means aunt, and when I was little I thought my mom had a ton of sisters. But they weren't my real aunts, they were just friends of my mom's. Maybe this was something like that. They're saying she was my grandmother's sister, but she's not really." "Okay. So she's coming to visit, like when Aunt Lynn and Naomi come to visit?" "Naomi, my cousin, is 3 years older than I am. We see them a couple times a year. Kind of. It's a big deal to fly from China to the States, though, Lucy, so she'd stay longer than just a couple of days," and Mom paused. She and Dad glanced at each other. "The only space we have for her is, Mom slowed down, not finishing her sentence. Suddenly, I put it all together. She was going to stay in my room." Regina smirked at me from across the table. "I told you so. But it will only be until Christmas. That's not so long, right?" Mom smiled at me as if that made everything better. "Then she'll go visit Auntie Lynn." My room was disappearing. Going, gone. "What? Only if eternity is a week-long vacation," I said. "You can't do this to me. I'm supposed to have my own room, remember?" Today was August 10. I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. By Christmas, I would be wearing sweaters and jeans. And be 12, not 11, and practically halfway through 6th grade. Basketball season would have started. This was a long, long time. "I know you're disappointed," Mom started. "That's an understatement," I said, pushing away from the table. I swallowed hard, pushing down the tears that were threatening to come up. "Thanks a lot for including me in this life-changing decision." "There was no decision to make," Dad said. "She's family. It's an honor for us to have her come visit. End of story." I got word yesterday that her paperwork was finalized. Dad gave me a look that meant end of discussion. "Yeah, Lucy," chimed in Regina. "We're Chinese. We honor and value our elders. We don't think about whether we get our own room." She looked at Dad and plastered on an extra big "Aren't I wonderful" smile. Dad nodded approvingly. "Regina is such a kiss-up. We're Chinese-American," I snapped. "And this American would like her own room." I grabbed my basketball and went outside to play in the driveway. I was too mad to talk. I needed some hoop therapy. After a couple of dribbles, I faked a pass to the left, whirled around, and went for a top-of-the-key jumper. Lucy Wu goes in for the buzzer beater. The ball thudded off the backboard. No basket. When I tell people that I play basketball, I usually get two kinds of reactions. The first is an awkward pause while my entire height of 4'0" gets examined up one side and down the other, followed by something like, "Okay, what other sports do you like?" The second, while more positive, is really not any better. It's a big fishy grin followed by, "Oh, just like Yao Ming?" Like I have anything in common with a 7.5 foot tall male basketball player, other than the fact that we're both Chinese. But I love basketball. The day I got the hang of dribbling the ball through my legs counts as one of the best days of my life. And that feeling I get when I know the ball's going in because everything has lined up perfectly is the greatest rush. To me, getting the ball to an open teammate on a no-look pass is a thing of beauty. And tell me there's something more exciting than the last few seconds of a tied-up basketball game where tenths of a second count. I crouched down, eyed the basket, and fired again. This time the ball went in. "Hey, Luce, get me the rebound." I turned around even though I knew who it was. Madison Jameson and I have been best friends for 5 years, ever since we snuck out of ballet class to watch a pickup basketball game outside. We've been playing together on a league team ever since then, and we have our whole lives planned out. After playing varsity hoops for all 4 years in high school, we're going to the University of Tennessee so we can play basketball for Pat Summitt. Just about every person who has played for Pat Summitt has played in the Final Four, the legendary best of the best round of the national tourney, and they've won the women's championship more times than anybody. After we win our NCAA tournament, Madison and I will play professional ball in the WNBA for a few years, and then open a design store for girls who love sports. No frilly pink princessy stuff, but not boy stuff, either. Just cool stuff, like lockers to hold your sports equipment and specially designed boards to record your team's schedules and workout routines. We're going to call it at the buzzer. Come on. Madison snapped her fingers impatiently. Move that ball. She sounded just like Coach Mike, the coach of our team, the Inferno. I snagged the ball and whipped it to her. Madison grabbed the ball and went in for a layup. The ball went in. It must be nice to be the tallest girl in the class. What's up? You doing your 50? Asked Madison. Coach Mike had told us to do 50 free throws every day during the summer. Free throws can make or break a game, he says. Not exactly. My life just exploded. I told her the news. Madison's eyes widened. Madison doesn't have surprise relatives from foreign countries. Her family practically came over on the Mayflower. I guess we better hurry up and decorate your room, huh? She asked. Madison and I had been talking all summer about how we would redecorate my room once Regina was gone. We like the same colors, violet and ice blue. Yeah, maybe we can go to Sharp soon, I said. I didn't feel very enthusiastic. Knowing I was getting a roommate was taking out the fun, Madison poked me. Cheer up, I have some news. What? Mom says the class assignments are out. We're in the same class. Madison's mom volunteered at the school, so Madison was always the first to know what was going on. That was good news. I don't think I could stand it if we weren't in the same class. Certain kids never get to be in the same class, like Paul Terry and Jamie Watkins, because they are troublemakers. Who'd we get? I asked. Some new teacher, Ms. Phelps. Mom didn't know much about her. Who is in our class? Let me think. Stephen, Nate, Annel, Rick, and Andrew, Haley, Anne, Serena, and Lauren. Alexa, Oscar, Madison's voice trailed off. Anyone else from our class last year? I tried to sound casual, but I was pretty sure I had yelped. Please say he's in our class. Who am I forgetting? Oh yes, Talent, of course. Oh, I sighed. Talent Chang. Everyone seems to think we should be friends because we're both Chinese, short, and in the same grade. The resemblance ends there, though. She dresses, acts, and talks like an annoying miniature adult. There's a rumor that when her family moved here from Taiwan, her parents made her watch public television until she learned English. Lucy, be nice. You be nice, I retorted. I lined up on the crack that acted as my free throw line and shot the ball. The ball swirled in the hoop and then fell out. Now I remember who else is in our class, said Madison. Really? Who? Oops, I sounded a little too enthusiastic. That new kid from last year. What's his name? Oh yeah, Harrison Miller. Oh, okay. I bit my lip to keep from shrieking. Even Madison didn't know about my crush on Harrison Miller, and I planned to keep it that way, at least for a while. When Harrison moved here last year, some kids nicknamed him Mr. California Cool. He wore his hair long and a necklace with a little carved dolphin. Some of the other boys, like Jamie Watkins, tried to tease him, but it just seemed to slide right off him. Haley, who was assigned to Harrison's lunch table last year, said he was a vegetarian and didn't eat just peanut butter and jelly all the time, like when Andrew tried being a vegetarian for 2 weeks. Harrison ate stuff like brown rice with lentils and cashews. Other kids thought this was weird. I didn't. Suddenly, I wondered how long I had been daydreaming about Harrison, and whether Madison knew that I was thinking about him. I started dribbling the ball again. Listen, I gotta go, said Madison. She lived 2 blocks away on the other side of the street. Call me later, Leaping Wombat? This was our private joke. We made up names according to our initials. See you, Magenta Jelly, I said. As I watched her walk away, Regina came out and dumped 2 garbage bags full of clothes in front of me. Mom says that we need to start cleaning up the house for Yapo. You need to go inside and help clean out the basement. If Regina's favorite thing is to give orders, her second favorite thing to do is give orders on behalf of Mom and Dad. I'm still playing ball, I said, holding the ball on my hip. And you need to move those clothes out of my way. I poked the bag with my foot. Mom said now, said Regina. I tried to give the ball one good thump so Regina and the whole world would know I was still mad, but instead of bouncing high in the air, the ball hit an old shoe, flew back, and hit me in the knee. Even my own ball had turned against me.